Hello, everyone. It's Desiree back here again with you on the tips for healthy eatings. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Mamey Sapote, but before we do that, I thought I would just update you a little bit on that last video that I did using the tiger nut to make tiger nut milk. Now, I had shown you the pulp that I got from it, that I said I would be saving and using to make the tiger nut flour. So what I did was I spread it out. I got one of the baking sheets and I spread it out, in a thin layer along there. And then I heated the oven to 170 degrees. Now you want to do that because you don't want to burn the pulp. You just want it to dehydrate, and that's a good good enough heat there to dehydrate it without actually taking away any of the nutrients. If you do have a dehydrator, you could use one too. I do have one, but I use it mainly to dehydrate food for my canine friend. So yes. So what I did was I heated the oven to 170 degrees. That's the lowest it can go. I think I said yesterday it was 205. No, that's not true. When I went ahead and decided to dehydrate the pulp here, I realized that I could turn it on to about 170 degrees, which is the lowest, and that's good. So I left it in there for a few hours. I didn't really time it, but I went back after a few hours just to check with it. It needed a little bit more dehydration, so I left it in there for another maybe half an hour, and then it was done. So this is the end product. This is a dried pulp of the tiger nut after I extracted the tiger nut milk from it. So I'm just going to quickly show you how I would use it to make the flour, and it's a very simple process. I'm just going to use it I'm just going to process it by I'm just going to process it by putting it into the blender here. Well, my Vitamix, which I find so useful for doing so many things, whether it's breaking down dried stuff to make flour, oat flour, all of the pea flour, any one of those, chickpea flour, coconut flour. When I'm finished with extracting the milk from coconut flour, I usually do that too. I'll put it in the oven, have it dehydrated at a low heat for a while, and then when it comes out dry, I just put it in my blender here. So I'm gonna just put it in, pour it in. That's it. And it's easy peasy and done within a few. So I'm going to turn it on, and I put it at the highest too, so it can really grind it up. That's it. It's about, I think this was about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Oops. All right. Well, in future, just bear in mind, you just hold on for a minute or two before you open your blender, because here I'm all floured up now. That's okay. And I'm going to pour it back into this dish that I have here so you can see the flour texture that I got from it. I think it's a little bit stuck here. I'll just loosen it. Now you gotta be careful. You don't want to do it too long, especially if you're using a Vitamix, because the Vitamix will heat up. And that's I say, you do the same thing if you're going to do oat flour. You have to be very careful. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing oat flour, I make sure I put the oats in the refrigerator so that it can really cool down, be very cool, and so it won't heat up too quickly when I'm grinding it up. So here we have it's really fine, almost like there's no graininess. You know, there are some gluten-free flours, when you get them, they are also grainy. I think like rice flour, but this is wonderful. So there we have our tiger flour that we can use in various recipes as we choose. Now I'm all whited up with all that flour. Okay, so that's basically that, and then of course I'm going to just store it in just a normal paper bag. You know, one of those little lunch type paper bags. They come in very handy, and I prefer to store most things in a paper bag if it's something that you can store in a paper bag, you know, which you don't need to put in the refrigerator. I think it's much healthier than storing things in plastic that can break down over time. I'm sorry, I'm all white with the flour. Now today, and I'm going to talk about the Mamey Sapote, and of course I have it wrapped up in a paper bag. And this is what I learned from I was growing up as a young child into a teenager and then into a mother and a wife, is that this is a very effective way of helping your fruits to ripen if they're not yet ripe. So you put them in a paper bag and store them somewhere nice and cool and dry, you know, and it helps with the ripening process. Now this is the Mamey Sapote. I'm gonna hold it like that. And so this is a huge fruit. It's probably about 2 to 3 pounds in weight, quite heavy. And I got this at the international market. This is a fruit that grows at home in Jamaica, but it's also spread over the world. It's indigenous to Central America, Puerto Rico, and Mexico. But it also grows in the West Indies, in Jamaica, and I guess in the other islands. And of course it grows, I don't think it grows here in the US. I don't see where it is. So this is the Mamey. Now it's ripe now. You can see that when it gives a little, you know, soft, then you know it's completely ripe. It is comparable to me to what we call the naseberry or sapodilla, which is a smaller brown fruit looking almost like a kiwi, but it doesn't taste like a kiwi. It has the same kind of texture as the Mamey Sapote. Right, so the skin, if you see, it's russet brown, and of course the flesh is edible. When it's ripened, the flesh is an orange, salmon, pink, or reddish brown. So let's see if this one fits. Oh, well, I guess I should be using my cutting board here. And it has a huge seed, so I have to be careful. I want to save the seed to send to my mom so she can plant it in Florida. It won't grow here. So it's usually a deep orange, salmon, pink, or reddish brown. There you go. Well, now the light doesn't do it doesn't help well, but it is it's more like a salmon color. This one, it's not bright orange, it's more like a salmon color. And as you see, sometimes they come with more than one seed, but this one has a huge seed, really huge. Okay, let me see if I can. So that's how you would open the Mamey Sapote. And let me see if I can put it beside the spoon so you can see how big it is, the length of it. And it's quite, you know, big and round. So yeah, that's the seed, which you can plant. Oops, now I'm ruining it. But okay, so I'm going to send this to that warm area, Florida, where maybe we can have the seed grow and we'll get some more Mamey Sapote. Okay, so it's sweet. It's like a combination of pumpkin chocolate and almond, or it's similar to a mixture of sweet potato, avocado, and honey. So yes. Now the Mamey Sapote is technically, guess what? I'm always coming up with these fruits that are not necessarily what we think they are. You know, like the coconut, the other day I was saying it's a seed, it's a fruit, okay? It's a nut. And so the Mamey Sapote is technically a berry. It's technically a berry, though a very large berry. So imagine comparing this huge fruit with a strawberry or a raspberry or a blueberry, because they are relatively small in comparison to that. All right, so it's technically then a berry, very large, and of course it was cultivated as way back as the Mayan times in Mexico. Now, some of the benefits I'm going to go through quickly. Some of the benefits include weight management. Now, this is really this fruit is nutrient dense, and it's gratifying. It's a very gratifying fruit in terms of your appetite, comparatively, because it has a comparatively few calories. So it's really nutrient dense. It's gratifying. When you compare it to the amount of calories, a few calories, but really fills you up. It fills you up and it delays the onset of hunger. The complex carbohydrates, because it has carbohydrates in it, contribute to a long-term satisfaction and satiety because they take longer to digest. So these complex carbohydrates will take a little longer to digest. So it keeps you feeling full longer. The high insoluble fiber that is in it takes up space in your stomach to help you feel fuller on fewer calories. So that's the fiber that is it does have soluble and insoluble fiber. So the insoluble will take up space in your stomach, lets you feel full longer. All right. Now the soluble fiber slows the rate at which digested food exists in your stomach. So both the soluble and the insoluble fibers do play a part in weight management, and that's a great thing for having this nutritious and healthy and delicious fruit. It is heart healthy. The soluble fiber helps to promote healthy cholesterol levels. It's high in potassium, and this keeps the blood pressure in check and supports normal heart function. Being an excellent source of vitamin C, it helps maintain firm capillaries and blood vessels. So again, it will help you to have healthy blood vessels. The vitamin E in it prevents the buildup of plaque in the blood vessels and the arteries. So enjoy having some of this. It's both a food to fill you up, to keep you satisfied, to nourish your body, but it also helps with preventing heart problems. It provides increased immune function. It's high in vitamin E, and this helps to strengthen the immune system. It treats anemia. There are large amounts of the B6 vitamin, which creates hemoglobin, which is transported by red blood cells through the body to bring oxygen to the cells and to mobilize iron. So again, really great benefits to eating the sapote, the Mamey Sapote. It reduces your cholesterol. So there's copper also. Maybe that's why it has this color. The copper reduces LDL, which is a bad cholesterol, and increases HDL. Now, this is like a miracle fruit, isn't it, for all of those heart-related conditions. It also helps, and I've never heard really of any kind of food that does help that. It helps PMS symptoms. So the vitamin E in it helps to reduce cravings. It helps to reduce cramping and the anxiety that is related to PMS. It also helps to balance your hormones naturally and keeps the menstrual cycle regulated. So again, really great. It gives skin a healthy glow. Again, the iron in the fruit will help to give your skin a really healthy glow. And of course, the potassium in it not only healthy for the heart, but it also is attributed to bone health. Now, it also supports proper brain function. So the B3 niacin that's in it also protects against the development of Alzheimer's disease and other age-related brain disorders that result in cognitive decline. And now, I mean, I've heard of it that there is a kind of a dementia kind of epidemic here, where people are becoming incapacitated by these kinds of cognitive decline, even at a premature rate. And I've seen people, and I've seen the effects of Alzheimer on the lives of the person who is affected and also on the lives of the loved ones. It's really a very, very horrendous disease. So this fruit can be part of a healthy diet that will help to break down or cut down on the incidence of cognitive decline. It supports high health. It possesses riboflavin, which is B2, which helps to prevent cataracts, glaucoma, and okay, I can't pronounce this one. But it's good for your eyes. Let's say that it's good for your eyes. So, and again, of course, it has this kind of orange look too, like the carrot and the sweet potato. So it's really very good. It's high in vitamin B2. Now, what do we do? How do you eat it? How do you prepare it? Well, I already cut it open, so I will see if I can help you figure out what we do. Well, I usually like to take this part here in the middle where the seed rests. It's fibrous, so I don't really think, I don't want to eat that. So I would take this out. I would take it out. So this little part that housed the seed, I would take that out. And it's really very easy to eat. You can spoon it out fresh, just like I'm doing here. It's really soft. It's almost like pudding. It's almost like those puddings, except it doesn't have jello in it or gelatin. All right, I'm going to take a taste. Wow. Now, it does taste like the sapodilla. It does taste what we call naseberry in Jamaica. And you can also get the sapodilla in the international market. These people are doing a great job bringing stuff in for us to eat that is very, very nutritious. So to me, wow. To me, this is like a giant sapodilla or a giant naseberry, as we call it in Jamaica. I had gotten some of those naseberries from the international market not too long ago. I should have done a video on it, but I didn't. But yeah, real fresh. This is unbelievable. It tastes just like the sapodilla. It's great. Now, the thing is that you don't have to eat it, like this. There are other ways in which you can prepare it. You can use it in your milkshakes. If you eat ice cream, I don't, unless I'm preparing it from some kind of plant-based source. I'm sorry. I think I'm trying to eat it because it really tastes good. Reminds me of home. All right, so you can make it into milkshakes. You can put it in your smoothies. You can make your own ice cream with it. I guess you're gonna blend it up. I'm gonna have to check out to see how I could do that. You can make frozen sorbet. You can make sauces with it. They use it in confectionery, and it can be preserved and made into jams and jelly. Usually, and the guava, I guess one of these days I'll feature the guava. But the guava is also very, very nutritious. And what they usually do is to use the Mamey as filler for making guava cheese. Don't know if you've ever heard of guava cheese. Maybe one day I'll have a little video on it, show you how you make guava cheese. I used to love guava cheese as a child. We would go to those agricultural shows with my mom, and of course we would really be so happy because everywhere you went or turned in the agricultural show, you would be able to find some kind of sample. They give out food showing you how you can use locally grown stuff to make different kinds of recipes and all of that. It was wonderful. So that's where I was first introduced to guava cheese. I was like, how can guava be cheese? But yeah. All right, so so it can be used, and of course the oily large kernel of the seed is also edible. So the seed here, do I want it to be planted? You can. It's also edible. The kernel is edible. It can be boiled, it can be roasted, it can be finely ground and mixed with cocoa for making hot chocolate. So go figure. If I may have to buy a few more of them and roast it and do that. Reminds me of the seeds from the jackfruit. I don't know how many people know about the jackfruit, but I think it's a much more popular fruit. It's becoming a much more popular fruit now. And bet you didn't know that the seeds can be eaten. Yes, the seeds can be eaten. We, again, as children, after we ate the wonderful little things that we pulled out from the jackfruit, we would save the seeds, would strip the outer, there's an outer membrane type thing that covers the seed. We would strip that and we would boil it or roast it. You could roast it. We used to have wood burning, fat stoves. We would roast it there, or we could put it in soup, cook it with our soup that we're making. All right, so here is a delicious Mamey Sapote. Really, really delicious. I would encourage you to explore what's available in your area. You might just find this. As I said, you get it from the international store, or maybe from one of those West Indian stores if there are any in your neighborhood. Or sometimes you do get many of these things from some of the Oriental stores too. So explore. It's changed. The season is changing. It's getting towards spring. I think the 21st of March will be the first day of spring. So go out there and explore what's available in your neighborhood. Explore the stores that have other things other than what you are used to. The traditional. Those are good, but sometimes it's great. It's great and it's wonderful to really learn about something else that it's from another country, another culture, and all of that. That I learned to appreciate when I was a Fulbright scholar, and they really opened my eyes to how culture can be so varied, interesting, and you can get so much out of knowing everyone, knowing people from all walks of life. Go on out there, explore the foods. It's a wonderful world. There are so many things there that you and myself here, we've never experienced. Take the time out, do that, and enjoy life. And as always, let your food be your medicine, and your medicine your food. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little thing here on the Mamey Sapote. I haven't really given you anything about how to process it, but I hope that I've explained and shown to you how you can eat it just like this. All right? So you have a good day and take care until I see you all again. Thank you.